Welcome back to the Tweet Show Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Chanler, and on today's episode of the Tweet Show Podcast, we got to talk some NFL stuff because there's a lot of stuff going on. Football started to ramp up. We just got done with preseason, and I got some things. I wrote down a couple of things I want to talk about. So, with that being said, we'll get started with today's episode. All right, so it is August 27th as of 10:21 a.m. Monday that Terry McLaurin and Trey Henderson signed their extensions or signed a new deal, to be exact, because Terry signed an extension. Trey just signed sort of a new 1-year deal type of deal. So obviously there's no more holdouts from either one of them, but we still have a holdout from Michael Parsons, and we'll get to Michael Parsons here in a sec. But let's start with Terry here. Obviously with Terry getting that extension, that means that the Commanders will have Terry back, and that makes their offense very explosive, very elite. So we'll see how the Commanders will be looking, if they'll have the same success as they did last year with that offense, or if they'll sort of take a step back. I'm expecting they won't, just because they have now Terry and Debo and the kid they drafted like in the 7th round. It's like Jacoby. I don't remember. His nickname is Bill, I guess. So that's all I know. And then they have Austin Eckler, Zach Ertz. So they got weapons. Now I just got to hopefully think that their defense is going to improve on from last year. So we'll see how the Commanders do this year. But good for Terry. He definitely deserved that kind of money. I don't know why the Commanders kind of took this long to sort of be like, yep, here's the money. So, and then on the Trey Henderson side, I mean, obviously, if you're a football fan, you know that the Bengals are kind of cheap, even though they kind of, I understand why they kind of took a little bit longer, just because they had to, pay Joe Burrow, they had to pay Jamar, and they paid Higgins. So I feel like that one was going to be a little bit trickier to do, just because they had to pay all three of those guys, and all three of those guys are a little expensive. They signed Trey to a 1-year deal that's worth up to $30 million. So yeah, I mean, obviously you needed to keep Trey Henderson on the team. You couldn't just trade him and make your defense any worse. So, I mean, hopefully if he, gets any type of pressure on a quarterback, maybe their defense won't be as bad. So, because last year it was not very good, and that's why they lost some of their games that they shouldn't have lost. So we'll be curious to see and how the Bengals defense looks now with Trey Henderson going to be on the field for them. So, yeah, as for Michael Parsons, on the other hand, who still hasn't signed the extension, nor has played in a preseason, nor has any quote-unquote desire to play for the Cowboys, because obviously he requested that trade. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure he'll get signed at some point. I just don't know when, or even if he will play for the Cowboys. I highly doubt he won't play for the Cowboys, but you never know, I guess, right? So be curious to see how the Michael Parsons saga ends, if he'll be on the Cowboys or not, or when, or if he's going to step on the field again this season, which I'm guessing he will. I'm guessing he'll be on the field for week 1, I would assume, but I guess you just don't know, because obviously you're not going to not play, because you're going to want your paychecks. You're not going to pull a Le'Veon Bell and just set out the entire year. That'd be kind of silly. Obviously, we all know what happened with Le'Veon Bell. So I would just sign it. Or, well, if I was Michael Parsons, I keep saying now, if I'm Jerry Jones, just say F it and pay the man, for the love of Pete. All right. I think that's pretty much it for all the contract disputes and holdouts and stuff like that. We did get some breaking news earlier this morning of a NFL trade. This one sort of noticeable and worthy to talk about. Adam Thielen of the Panthers is getting traded back to the Minnesota Vikings. All right, so the Vikings receive Adam Thielen, a 2020 round pick, and a 2020 round pick, as Carolina receives a 2026 round pick and a 2027 4th round pick this year. So, I mean, good for Adam Thielen, good for the Vikings, because I texted my cousin who's a Vikings fan. I said, he's back. He's like, who? And then a minute later, he responded back saying, let's go. So Adam Thielen is back, and sort of my thinking was that obviously with Jordan Addison going to be out for, I think, 3 to 4 games. I can't remember exactly how many. I think it's 3, but can't remember how many. But anyways, he'll be out for the first 3 games of the season at first. So I think they were kind of thinking, okay, we're going to need at least a second wide receiver. We're going to need some depth at the wide receiver position, and we're going to need someone to sort of fill in Jordan's shoes while he's out until he comes back. So obviously Adam Thielen, who's familiar, I think, did he play for Kevin O'Connell? I feel like he did. I'm not 100% sure. I can't remember if he played in that system. I feel like he did, though. I feel like he did. I feel like he was on the Vikings when Kevin O'Connell was the head coach. But anyways, good for Vikings. Good for Adam Thielen. Good for him going back home to Minnesota and playing for his hometown team once again. After I think he was on the Panthers for like two years. Sounds about right. Yeah. So, I mean, good for him. Good for the Vikings. So, I mean, kind of when I was, because I had to take the dog out for a walk, and I was kind of thinking, I was like, now that they trade for Adam Thielen, which isn't really not gonna a whole lot of people are gonna be probably talking about it, but like I was thinking to myself, is like, with them trading for Adam Thielen, I feel like this is sort of the same thing that a lot of people have been talking about with the Bears, that now that Caleb has a new coach, weapons, an improved offensive line, and a good defense, he should go out there and prove that he's the guy. He's all this. I feel like it's the same thing with JJ now that he has he's had Kevin O'Connell for a year, but he didn't play last year. But he's got a coach, he's got good weapons, he's got a good offensive line as long as they stay healthy, and he's got a good defense. So it's now up to him to prove to the Vikings and to the world that he is a guy. He's the Vikings franchise quarterback for the next 10 to 15 years. So I'll be curious to see. Now, as I was thinking, I was like, he's sort of on the same boat as Caleb, but Caleb has a little more pressure to Caleb, just because, one, he was the number one pick, and two, he just comes with all this scrutiny and all this other stuff. People are just hating on Caleb, which I get it, number one pick, all that stuff. But like, I feel like we should lower our expectations just a little bit, not to like be like, oh, why isn't he throwing for 30 touchdowns or 35 touchdowns and has 5,000 yards in this Ben Johnson offense? I feel like you got to give him at least 1.5 years to really master this offense. And obviously, I feel like Ben Johnson is sort of trying to find ways to help Caleb improve and not just be like, hey, this is my offense. You have to go run it now. I feel like he's more of the, all right, what are you good at? Let's figure out what you're good at, and we'll go from there. Sorry, I got on a Bears tangent there. But anyways, with JJ, I feel like he sort of gets a little bit of a cushion, a little bit more of a runway, just because he didn't play last year, and obviously this will be his first year starting. So I feel like he's probably got a little bit more of a, let's give him more time. We'll see what happens. Type, unlike Caleb, where this is now year 2, and he's got all this, and people expect a little bit more out of him. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking that, and maybe other people aren't. So, but yeah. Let's see. Was there anything else? Because when I was pulling up the Adam Thielen thing, I just saw there was a tweet about this whole YouTube TV deal with Fox. So, okay, let's see. Because I just saw this tweet, and let's see. The tweet says that YouTube TV and Fox are currently locked in a carriage dispute a day away from Week 1 of college football season. I mean, also with the NFL too, because obviously Fox carries that. The NFL. Obviously, I think today is YouTube TV has until like 5 o'clock Eastern to give them the money that Fox wants. Which I feel like, why does like Fox, NBC, and CBS always do this to us football fans right before football season starts? They're like, hey, we want more money now. It just seems like almost every year or every other year, there's some type of dispute of these networks are telling the cable or the streaming platforms or cable providers saying, hey, we want more money now. We're going to need some more money. And it's like, bro, why can't you do this like later when football season ends? So it's just like, I don't know why they do this to us, like fans and just people in general. I guess as of right now, I don't think they've made a deal yet. So hopefully by Saturday, they get us a deal, because it'd be a real shame if most of America wasn't able to watch like most of the games of the first week of college football with Ohio State and Texas playing. So, and like most of America wouldn't be able to watch it. So it'd be a real shame. I mean, it definitely would suck for me, just because I'd be like, oh, I can't watch that now. So it would definitely suck. Just sign the deal. Just give them $2 billion. Just give them whatever they want, dude. Google, YouTube, you have the money. Just give them the money. It can't be that hard. Just give them the money. Just overpay. It's fine. But I think I wrote down some NFL hot takes. So I wrote down 5 NFL takes that are going to happen, or at least bold takes, either bold or hot, however you decide on how hot or how bold these takes are. So these are my 5 bold/hot takes entering the 2025 season. Number 1, I have that the Carolina Panthers will finish second in the NFC South. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, well, that's not really much of a bold take because I feel like it probably could happen, but they're going to be in a fight for second place for the Falcons. I'm thinking that the Carolina Panthers are going to be slightly better than the Falcons will be. Because like on papers, it should be that the Falcons are better than the Carolina Panthers, and I'm feeling I should have probably did we'll finish second and we'll be the 7th seed in the playoffs. I should have just wrote that down, but I'm gonna just stick to my guns here and say that they'll finish second in the NFC South. I'm pulling all my chips in on Bryce Young having a really good. Is this year 3 now? Yeah, this is year 3 for Bryce. So I'm putting all my chips in on Bryce Young to have a really good season this year and help the Panthers finish second. I don't know if they'll make the playoffs just because I feel like the NFC is just a little bit. It's got too many good teams, but I'm saying they'll finish second and maybe have a chance to fight for that 7th spot. You'll have to wait and see. All right, take number 2. Tyreek Hill will get traded before the NFL trade deadline happens. So sometime during the season, Tyreek Hill will get traded. I don't know when. I don't know who or when he'll exactly get traded, but I think he'll get traded just because I feel like he's come out and said he doesn't want to be there, but even though he's playing and all this other stuff. So it's very weird and bad vibes in Miami. So I'll be curious to see on how that all plays out with Tyreek because we kind of talked about it. Like some people talked about it during the offseason, but kind of just, and then we kind of forgot about it, but then it's out there and no one's really talking about it again. So it is what it is, I guess. All right, let's see this one. Week 3, I should say number 3. Number 3, by week 3, Michael Parsons will sign his extension, which will make him the highest paying NFL player in NFL history and highest defensive player and all that stuff. So I think that Michael Parsons will not play the first 2 games, and then by week 3, be right before it'll be like a Thursday during Thursday Night Football, the news will break and be like Michael Parsons signed his extension. Adam Schefter will break the news and be like, Michael Parsons signs a 6-year, $330 million deal or something like that, making him the highest paid defensive player in NFL history, paid player in NFL history or something to that effect. So I think Michael Parsons gets signed by week 3. All right, take number 4. This one, I kind of just threw it out, threw a dart and see what stick. And this is the only one I came up with. I feel like there was more, but I feel like this one was sort of good enough. I said that a non-quarterback will win the MVP this year. I don't know what position. It could be running back. It could be a wide receiver. It could be Jamar Chase. It could be Saquon Barkley. It could be one of those two because, they were the 1 and 2 for Offensive Player of the Year. And obviously Saquon got some votes or maybe not. But I think this is the year. I'm just putting it out there that this could be the year we finally get a non-quarterback to win MVP this year instead of just having it be the quarterback with the best team and all that. So, all right, take number 5. I think this one's kind of bold. I'm sure it will backfire on me by January and February, but I wrote down that the Chiefs and the Eagles will not make it back to the Super Bowl this year. Now, I haven't really done any research to just say who my Super Bowl picks are, but I feel like it's a bold take for sure. I mean, this is supposed to be my bold take / hot takes, and I say that the Chiefs and Eagles will not make it back to the Super Bowl. Neither one will make it. It can't be one makes it, but the other doesn't. Both won't make it back to the Super Bowl this year. They will not be playing for the Super Bowl this year. Neither team. I'm just kind of I'm trying to think what teams I can put on there. I'm going to say that the Bills will play. I'm going to say, F it. The Detroit Lions will make it to the Super Bowl this year. They'll play the Buffalo Bills. That should have been the Super Bowl 2 years ago, but obviously that didn't happen. But yeah, that's my prediction. I'm not holding myself to that pick, but just for the sake of this recording, I'm going to say Bills versus Lions is the Super Bowl this year. I'm sure any Chiefs or Eagles fans watching or seeing this clip will definitely even will save it or bookmark it and be like, haha, freaking idiot. And be like, yep, hand up. That's on me. I shouldn't have doubted those teams. But anyways, those are my bold takes for this upcoming NFL season. And last thing here on the Tweet Show podcast before we wrap up here, this broke yesterday, kind of broke the internet. Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are engaged. It's very exciting. Good for them. I'm happy for Travis and Taylor. I wouldn't necessarily call myself a Swiftie, but I do respect that she has the following and she has good music. Am I going to come out and say I don't like her music? No, I'm not going to say that. I do like some of her music. Her music's fine. Her music's good. I do like some of her music. I do like some of the old stuff, like Love Story's a banger. Some of the songs from 1989 are also very good. I like some of those songs. So I'm not a full out blown Swiftie, but I respect it. I like some of her music. If you're going to hate on it, because you know what Taylor always says, haters got to hate. All right. So, yeah, I mean, that was kind of some pretty big news yesterday with Travis and Taylor announcing their engagement. So I feel like what I sort of know of the Taylor Swift dating history is she's obviously dated a lot of guys. And I think her longest relationship with a guy named Joe. And obviously she wrote songs about him in the is it the Torches Poets Society one? Yeah, that one. Whatever album that was. But because like there was songs like called like So Long London or something like that. But anyways, because I feel like are kind of reading up on some Taylor Swift stuff just to understand a little bit and how her love story has sort of been these past years and all that. But I feel like this one, or the Joe guy, wasn't necessarily wanting to like really like put herself out there and be like, hey guys, look at this, I'm dating Taylor Swift. Because I feel like Travis is just like, hey, I'm gonna bring my girlfriend onto the podcast. I'm gonna just go out to every shows of hers. I'm going to show support. He's a very supportive guy, I will say. He is just supportive. He's loving it. I respect that out of him. He generally seems like a very nice guy. So, and obviously he's a very funny guy as well. And I'm happy for the both of them. I'll be curious to see, because like this is basically like, you know how the English have their royal families and all the royal weddings and stuff like that. I feel like this is going to end up being like America's version of the royal wedding and stuff like that. So I feel like everybody's going to be wanting to know where the wedding is, when is the wedding. They're going to want photos. They're going to want this. They're going to want that. They're going to just want to see everything. They're going to want this like thing like televised. So like on like, I feel like this time next year, because some of the speculations that with this engagement now, that this will probably end up being like Travis's last year, which I can totally see that happening, that this could be Travis's last year, just because with this engagement, kind of thinking like, oh, this is probably his last year. He's going to go up to sunset and just get married and have a wonderful life with Taylor. I mean, I have him as a guy who has him in one of my fantasy leagues. I'm hoping he, uses this moment and really helps me wins another fantasy title. I can't remember which one I have him in. I think I might have him in the in my friend group one. I think I can't even remember. No, wait. Do I have him? All right, now I'm curious to see. Oh, and what league I have him in. I think I have him in this one. Let's see. Yep. Okay, so I have Travis in that league. Do I have him in the other one too? Or no, I feel like someone else drafted him. This is the league that I didn't draft a tight end until like at the very end. That's right. Okay. So anyways, back to Taylor Swift and Travis, and not talking about my fantasy team. But I mean, this will be like sometime like I'm assuming within the next year or two they'll have their wedding. I think, because like I was just watching some of the like Swifties predictions. I was like, all right, let's see what their thoughts are. I was just out of curiosity. I was just like, all right, let's see, because it was kind of fun and cute seeing all these girls' reactions to Taylor getting engaged. All that. Well, some of them were a bit over the top. Like calm down. Like I get it. You're very passionate about her, and I get it. Just how like guys are, how we're passionate about things, about sports and other things, but we don't need to cry about it. But again, I'm not judging. I get it. I totally get it. But anyways, what was I going to say? I feel like some people are saying she's going to want to do a fall wedding just because she is a fall girl. Songs about fall, I feel like, right? Again, I'm not an expert on the Swifties, but that's just basically what I know. That's basically what I know. I haven't really listened. The only albums I've really listened to of hers I think I've listened to obviously the 1989 album, the Fearless album, and Speak Now and Red. I think those are about. Oh no, I did listen to the album with the one talking about Travis, so I did listen to that one. I'm trying to, because like, oh yeah, the caption, the whole, everybody's like making a little comment about the whole caption. I understood it because if you watch the interview that they did, if she's like, I kind of get it just because Travis is sort of that PE teacher in that he's a sports guy and she's illiterate. She's a songwriter and she's illiterate and she's so smart about everything. She uses big words, just like Travis says, and Taylor was having to teach him, I should say, teach him these big words. And so, yeah, I mean, they do seem very cute. They do seem like a very lovely couple, but yeah, let's see. So I think I've up to 5 albums. I have not listened to, I think it's called Folklore. The Folklore, haven't really, I didn't, well, obviously when I was a kid, I probably listened to that debut album, so I'm lying to myself. Okay, let's see. There's Folklore. I think that's an album, right? Or is that a song? Now I'm gonna have to listen. Now I'm gonna have to look up Taylor Swift albums. This is some great podcasting. Also, I do want to apologize for anyone who listened to last week's or whenever the last episode was, where I just rambled on for like 20 to 30 minutes just listening off guys' names. That was fantastic. Okay, here we go. So I've not listened to Reputation, the entire album. I've not done that. I don't think I've actually listened to all of Lover. The Tortured Poet Department. Okay, close enough. I've listened to most of it. 1989, yeah. Red, yeah. Midnight, most of it, I think. Folklore. Okay, I was right. That is an album. I was thinking it was a song. All right, I've not listened to that. I've listened to most or all of Fearless. Speak Now, probably. Let's see. Evermore, not. I've not. Let's see what else she got. Because I think doesn't she have like 12 or no, this like her 11th album, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess I'm a Swiftie, I guess. I didn't even realize it. Now that I'm thinking about it, kind of seeing all these albums, like, oh, I've listened to most of those. So I'm sure I'll get a little haze on the internet or from my guy friends, be like, dude, what the fuck? You listen to Taylor Swift once in a while, okay? Let's not judge. Let's not judge here. There's no judging. Guys just can't listen to good music. Sorry, but well, I don't know what else is there to say about this engagement. But like I said, it was kind of funny watching these girls' reactions to Taylor getting engaged. And as I was just looking at it more the football side of it. Like it was kind of cool. I was just kind of just like it was like. Because like I was at work and I just happened to look at my phone for a second and I got it. Literally how I found out they got engaged is Adam Schefter put out an ESPN notification saying that Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are now engaged. Oh, wow. And I guess Travis's dad went on, because I saw the video of it and he was on a morning show in Australia talking about it. I was like, dude, how do you even know these people? Why are you on a morning show in Australia? What's the connection there? Why is he on a show in Australia? So I have no idea what's that all about. But yeah, I guess by his word, they've been engaged for at least 2 weeks now. Or it happened like 2 weeks ago, which I'm trying to figure out when exactly did that happen? Because I feel like they did the podcast thing like 2 weeks ago. So I feel like somewhere in that time frame. Now, granted, it all depends on when exactly they recorded that podcast. So he could have recorded the podcast and then got an engagement, or they did the podcast and then immediately after they got engaged. So who knows when exactly this all happened. So anyways, I feel like I've kind of rambled on about this whole Taylor Swift thing and Travis thing. I feel like I was only going to like briefly mention it. And it was kind of funny how some of the people are kind of making the funny comment about how it's when they did the whole collab thing about them getting engaged, that that Travis's Instagram handle is still Killer Trav, and Taylor Swift, it's like, oh wow, that's funny. That his Instagram handle is still Killer Trav, which is kind of funny. But yeah, like I said, good for them. I'm happy for their success. I hope they show her so many times this NFL season so that angry old men just get her off my fucking screen. I generally do not care if they show her. It's just like I understand. Like if you're the losing side and Travis scores a touchdown and they immediately cut to her celebrating, like I get it. Like, I totally get it. Like, it's like, I don't want to see her. Get her off my screen. Like, I get it. You're mad that they just scored, and then it just happened to be Travis on your team. I totally get it. I totally get it. Totally. I completely understand. But like, we don't need to go out of our way and just be like, get her off my fucking screen. Like, chill out, guys. Let's just chill out. She's only on for like what, 5 seconds? And like in total, she's probably on, like, I think they probably did this like last, or the first year that when they were dating, she's only actually on for like a total from start to finish of a game. She's only on for a total of like 30 seconds. So if you think about it. Plus, they didn't really show her that much during the Super Bowl either, just because they showed her once, and like obviously the Eagles beat the crap out of the Chiefs, so they couldn't really show her that much just because they were losing, because they're losers. All right, so I think that's pretty much it on today's episode. This was pretty much the NFL episode. We will get a college football one up on either Thursday or Friday, so I will be doing all that. So, because I was originally going to do like I was going to do both at the same time, and not because like I was going to record an episode on Sunday. I started recording it, and as I was in the middle of it, I just felt it was not good enough to my standards, even though sometimes some episodes are not good. Some episodes are good. Some episodes are good. Some episodes are bad. So the vibes were off. I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm going to try something different. So I feel like this one went a lot bit better. I definitely could have improved on some things, but as someone who's still getting back into this whole podcasting thing after taking basically like a year and a half hiatus of not doing a podcast. So I will see you guys either Thursday or Friday. I think I'm definitely going to record tomorrow for the college football one, but I don't know when exactly I will be publishing it. So just be on the lookout for that episode for your college football stuff, because I was originally going to talk about like week 0, what's coming up week 1, because obviously tomorrow we got some games on the slate. So I don't know if I'll necessarily be talking about those Thursday games, just because by the time some people listen to that episode, those will already be done. But I might do like a quick a mentioning of them, but otherwise I won't like break down them. I'll break down most of like the top games of week 1 and like sort of do like a conference preview sort of thing with all that. So yeah. So like I said, be on the lookout for that. Usually I don't promise this type of things, but I promise I'm going to do the college football episode. I'm going to do some college football stuff. So I promise I'm on that end. I promise. So with that being said, I appreciate everybody listening. Make sure you subscribe to the Tweet Show podcast on Apple, Spotify, or whatever platform you typically listen to on, if you are a audio user. If you're more of a video person, go ahead and subscribe to the Tweet Show podcast on YouTube. That is, if you just type in Tweet Show Podcast, you'll find us there. You can watch all the episodes there. Well, I shouldn't say all the episodes, but most of the episodes that I have recorded myself doing a video of it. So with that being said, I will see you guys next time. Like I said, make sure you like and subscribe, and tell a friend that the Tweet Show Podcast is talking about sports and Taylor Swift and Travis Kelsey's engagement. I'll see you guys next time.